Woman stabbed in random attack at Taipei MRT station. Taiwan soldiers jailed for spying for China. Taiwan protests Cambodia's deportation of fraud suspects to China. Osaka Expo opens in Japan. Argentina seals $20 billion IMF deal. Hungary passes law to ban LGBTQ public events. North Korea unveils new 10,000-home Showpiece residential district. Blue Origin all-female crew safely back on Earth.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It is Wednesday, April 16th, Selena Day, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan's news, a 42-year-old woman was stabbed in the back at Taipei's Sipai MRT station around 5:54 p.m. The suspect, a 40-year-old woman, was arrested at the scene. Police are investigating the case as assault. The victim is in stable condition. The motive behind the attack remains unclear. Several Taiwanese soldiers, including presidential guards, were convicted of leaking military secrets to China. Some filmed themselves with PRC flags pledging surrender. They were recruited via temples and gangs. Taiwan's High Court sentenced them to 6 months to 6 years and 8 months for violating national security laws. Taiwan protested Cambodia's deportation of 180 Taiwanese telecom fraud suspects to China. Despite efforts by Taiwan's office in Ho Chi Minh City, Cambodia refused to share the suspect list and proceeded with the deportations. Taiwan urges citizens not to engage in illegal overseas activities like telecom scams. And in global news, Expo 2025 opened in Osaka on Sunday, with more than 10,000 people singing Beethoven's Ninth Symphony to celebrate the start of the 6-month event that Japan hopes will unite a world divided by tensions and wars. Here is what to know about Expo 2025 Osaka. The expo is being held at Yumeshima, which means Dream Island, a reclaimed industrial waste burial site in Osaka Bay, where participants from more than 160 countries, regions, and organizations are showcasing their futuristic exhibits inside about 80 uniquely designed pavilions.
Organizers expect 28 million visitors through mid-October, though ticket sales have been slow, with about 9 million sold in advance, short of the initial target of 14 million. Daiki Chiba, who traveled from Sendai, said, "It's been 55 years since the last expo in Osaka. I've been looking forward to it." The expo comes only 4 years after Japan struggled to host the no-audience Tokyo Olympics during the coronavirus pandemic. It opens in the wake of trade wars and fears of a global economic downturn sparked by U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs, the 3-year Russian invasion of Ukraine, and conflicts in the Middle East. Still, Japan wants to turn the pinch into an opportunity.
Argentina dismantled key parts of its year-long currency control and loosened its grip on the peso on Friday as it sealed a $20 billion 48-month extended fund facility deal with the International Monetary Fund. The IMF deal includes an immediate disbursement of $12 billion with a first review planned for June and an additional disbursement of about $2 billion. President Javier Milei aims to pull the country out of the prolonged economic slump.
The South American nation's central bank announced that it will undo a fixed currency peg starting Monday, allowing the peso to fluctuate freely within a moving band between 1,000 and 1,400 pesos per dollar, compared to 1,074 at the close on Friday. Argentina will eliminate major parts of the so-called cepo capital controls that have restricted access to foreign currency. Starting this year, companies will also be able to repatriate profits out of the country, a key demand from businesses that could unlock more investment. Economy Minister Luis Caputo said at a press conference, "As of Monday, we will be able to put an end to the foreign exchange restrictions imposed in 2019, which have limited the normal functioning of the economy."
Hungary's parliament on Monday passed a constitutional amendment that allows the government to ban public events organized by LGBTQ communities, a decision that legal scholars and critics say is another step towards authoritarianism by the populist government. The amendment, which required a two-thirds majority, passed along party lines with 140 votes in favor and 21 against. It was proposed by the ruling Fidesz KDNP coalition, led by the populist Prime Minister Viktor Orban.
Ahead of the vote, the final step for the amendment, opposition politicians and protesters tried to block the entrance to a parliament parking garage. Police removed demonstrators who had zip-tied themselves together. The amendment states that children's rights to moral, physical, and spiritual development outweigh any right except the right to life, including the right to assemble. Hungary's contentious child protection legislation prohibits the depiction or promotion of homosexuality to minors under the age of 18. The amendment codifies a law fast-tracked through Parliament in March that bans public events held by LGBTQ communities, including the popular Pride event in Budapest that draws thousands annually.
As North Korea slowly emerges from 5 years of self-imposed pandemic isolation, a glittering new high-rise neighborhood in the capital, Pyongyang, is taking center stage. Photos of the 10,000 apartment development released by state news agency KCNA after the country's leader Kim Jong-un inspected the site Saturday showed residential skyscrapers spilling out from a wide boulevard in the new district, Hwasong. The project is part of a major construction drive in the capital and across much of the international isolated authoritarian nation intended to improve living standards.
The homes are part of an ambitious 5-year plan, announced in 2021, to build 50,000 additional apartments in Pyongyang, where residents' quality of life is considerably higher than elsewhere in the impoverished country. But despite the gleaming images of Pyongyang's new skyline, high-rise living in North Korea is not necessarily a symbol of luxury. Frequent power outages mean that elevators in residential buildings often do not function, making daily life difficult for those living on upper floors. As a result, younger residents are typically assigned higher apartments, while older residents are moved to lower floors to minimize the physical strain of climbing stairs, as witnessed by CNN during multiple visits to the country.
Pop star Katy Perry and 5 other women safely returned to Earth after reaching space aboard Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket. The singer was joined by Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez, and CBS presenter Gayle King, who said a highlight of the flight was hearing Perry sing Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World. After landing back on Earth, Perry said she felt super connected to life and so connected to love. The flight lasted around 11 minutes and took the 6 women more than 100 kilometers above Earth.
The New Shepard rocket lifted off from its West Texas launch site just after 8:30 local time. The capsule returned to Earth with a parachute-assisted soft landing, while the rocket booster also landed back in Texas. The spacecraft was fully autonomous, requiring no pilots, and the crew did not manually operate the vehicle. The last all-female spaceflight was over 60 years ago, when Soviet cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova became the first woman to travel into space on a solo mission aboard the spacecraft Vostok 6. The space tourism industry is still in its infancy, so every successful launch is significant and demonstrates that these short, commercial flights can be carried out safely.
The answer for yesterday was C, reciprocal. The two countries signed a reciprocal trade agreement to reduce tariffs for each other. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Osaka Expo opens in Japan. Number 1, reclaim. 收回,取回. The government reclaimed the land from legal squatters. Number 2, pandemic. 大流行病. The COVID-19 pandemic changed the way we live and work. Number 3, in the wake of. 随着,之后. In the wake of the typhoon, many areas were left without power. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section, and the correct answer will be announced tomorrow. Honoring the Queen of Tejano music, Selena Quintanilla. This day is a special tribute to her remarkable influence on music and culture. Fans around the world celebrate by playing her unforgettable hits, reflecting on her legacy, and embracing the vibrant spirit she embodied. And that's all for today's Funday news. Be sure to tune into Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Wade Lee, your host. I'll see you next time.